Good morning, this is Ron Morgan, and I'm with David de los Ríos, and
Hola.
we are discussing Living Artfully, but today Kathleen Carrillo is busy getting ready for an art show for tomorrow night, an art event. So that will give us, today we're just going to basically talk about pre-construction, which is very, very dominant now in our particular market. So this kind of gives us a little preliminary of how detailed the pre-construction business is. And the first pre-construction that I did was when I started they were building Molino de Agua, and I knew nothing about pre-construction at all. So it was a great learning experience, and we learned about delays in product, delays in marble, delays in getting the work completed. And this delay is consistent with every pre-construction. So this is something that we need to make everyone aware of. And I'll let David talk about his first event with pre-construction.
Gracias, Ron. So, yeah, my first sale, in fact, was pre-construction in 2019, no, 2020, in fact. So we were talking with my first client. He wants to buy a small apartment in Zona Romantica, and suddenly starts a pandemic. He was the day that he put the deposit, it was the day that the pandemic exploded. So it was very particular experience. He was very nervous because of it, and at the end it was the best investment that he ever can make, because after that the prices in Puerto Vallarta just explode. All the new projects that we know right now, they start to get built in Zona Romantica. We have a great experience with the developer, but was a difficult process because was a pandemic and also was delays in all the materials. All the buyers were very worried because the project delays for 1 year, but at the end it was a great product. The developer was great. He improves even so many of the materials in Madero 320, and it's a beautiful, beautiful building.
Okay, and something interesting to remember, if you're looking for pre-construction, know your agent, but also know your developer.
Very important.
The agents are qualified in many things, but they're not developers, and they're not builders, and they're not contractors, and they're not architects. So typically you need to have someone, a go-to person for any delays. And you also need to realize that every pre-construction you purchase will probably have some form of delay. This is in any country in the world, not just here. If you have labor issues, again, construction issues, weather issues, there are a number of things that delay all construction. I've been doing production of properties all my life in the United States and in Mexico. There's never, ever been one on time. So that's something you just need to get into your mind. Now the good part, the best part is if you're patient and wait, and we watch everything being built. So we send our clients almost a weekly photograph of what's being built and how it's being built. But the main thing is to understand your development as it's going along. If there are delays, we try to inform you. The grand point of the whole issue is the delay is quite often worth 3 times the value of what you paid for it. The perfect example is Soho, which completed last year, which now $500,000 properties are now $1.65 million. So that's your biggest benefit. It's sometimes a feel-good thing if you don't want to resell, but you know that your value is there. What do you think?
Well, I think that also pre-construction helps to our clients to achieve a goal, because sometimes they have a big dream and it's very difficult to make a big investment, but pre-construction is one way to get close to that goal. So they can buy a smaller apartment probably and then sell it in 5 years, and buy another property and sell it in 5 years, and then get closer to their dream. I think is a great option. What do you think are the benefits?
Well, in my opinion, you've got people that are budget conscious, and they may have $500,000. And rather than spend all the $500,000 at once, you pay 35% down, and then you pay it out as your contract states. Now, if there's a difference in the time of the construction, you can delay your contract because there are several clauses in the contracts that anticipate delays. So you can start with 35% down typically, and then you've got 2 to 3 years to get your property paid for. And this is great with people that have money that comes in monthly or quarterly. So you're not putting $1 million down or $500,000 down and then waiting. If you're offered large percentages, this is very important. If you're offered large percentages to pay down for a discount, don't take it. If someone says, I can save you 10% if you pay me 80%, don't take it. It means they don't have any money to build the building. This is the most important issue that comes up in construction. And fortunately, in Vallarta, over the last 25 years, we've had many, many, many developers that are more than adequately funded in many different ways. And we try to vet those through the AMPI Association and make sure that everyone, all the agents, all the consumers are protected. So this is sort of what we're doing, so everybody can afford to have a nice condo or house.
Exactly. What will be your 5 best advices for pre-construction?
Pay as little as you can down and extend the contract for as long as you can. And this is a great time because the developer is vulnerable. The developer wants you to buy the condo. I sold a school teacher that bought in Zenith when there was a hole in the ground, literally. And she looked at me and she said, "Should I buy?" And I said, "Well, it's only $250,000." And I said, "You just pay $20,000 down." And now she's living in this condo that's worth $850,000. So that's kind of a
make
good
some
scenario.
money.
Do you know of any people that have lost money
No,
in developments?
I don't think that I know anyone that lost money. Sometimes the way is a little bit complicated because of the delays and because people is expecting that will be on time. That is very difficult. That happens in Mexico for so many reasons. Probably the suppliers, probably the permits from the city are things that are happening on the way, and people start to get a little bit nervous with that. But at the end, I think everybody's happy with their purchase.
Okay. I've not had any clients lose money. We had one problem with an escrow company, and we funded that problem through my company. But there have been a couple of constructions where people have had their money tied up, and it was due to the fact that they didn't do their homework. They did things financially they would never do in the States, and thinking that they were going to get a wonderful bargain. These bargains, again, are not set up to complete properly. And you have to check with your agent, preferably an AMPI agent, and also know the contractor. Have you had that happen?
No. No, thanks God, no. We have just concerns about the process. So many people is just worried about the materials or worried about if the developer gonna finish their project because of the delays. But at the end, all the projects that I have been sold has been built, and everybody's happy at the end. Some clients a little bit more difficult than others, but at the end, everybody's...
Well, I found everybody's usually very happy. They're happy campers. They're pleased. Usually the developers, even after it's completed, they're they can change things and have some form of change. And if you want it badly enough, there's a way to get it. What do you think?
I think everybody wants a property here in Puerto Vallarta, no? It's the dream of everyone. We're very lucky to live in this place. If you are not living here, it's a possibility to achieve that goal again. You can make it just with the advices of a good agent. You can make it. There's so many projects in town. There's so many different budgets for everyone, from the luxurious apartments to something more simple for small studios that they are great on rentals. So if you want to make an investment, also the small investments are great. What do you think?
It's passive income. You've got a built-in client, seasonal, and you will receive an income from your property through rentals. We have no properties that I know of that have not been rentable, especially the new properties, especially the properties in Romantic Zone and Versailles and Cinco de Diciembre.
And you know, Ron, also all the bay is profitable. I think that the people that is staying in Marina is different from the people that is staying in Zona Romantica, the people that is going to South Shore. We have clients for every different type of properties in town.
True.
So if you want to rent it, anywhere is a good option.
But something that everybody needs to remember to wind it up is do your homework like you would do anywhere. Know your developer, know your sales agent, keep constant contact. Don't pay for your property and then leave it. And then you have the security that everything will be finished properly to your wishes. Always inspect the property before you sign the documents, the final closing documents. The closing documents take about 90 days to get closed, and then another 90 days to get your title. So you're safe on all accounts. Thank you.
Muchas gracias, and see you on the next time.